Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we are doing the long-awaited, long-promised Megiddo combo with Nitros. 11 attacks. Now, I will say, this kind of combo, there are literally like hundreds of ways to reach loads of attacks with Nitros. I'm sure other people will chime in and go, oh, I know how to do 13 attacks or blah blah blah. And that's fine, you know, there are so many variations, so much potential in this deck. And yeah, there will be combos with way more attacks, but the main way these things work out will always be the same. It will always be playing with the King Serpents, with the Negro Lazies, with the new Nitros, all that kind of stuff. Now, as you know, this playmat will be available at the link in the description. This is my Zero Damage Gaming Nitros playmat. I'm so in love with it. Probably my favorite playmat on the site right now. So I will be repping this even if I'm playing Tavas. Now, getting into the actual combo, you will need 4 or 5 open damage. 4 is fine, but I mean, you know, the more damage, the easier it will be to always pilot everything correctly. You know, Megiddo also takes away some counterblast right there. Oh, and by the way, I learned this combo from my friend Jamie. You should check him out on YouTube. He's like a Grand Blue master, probably the best Grand Blue player I know. So if you're interested in Grand Blue stuff in general, you should check him out. But at least do that after this video and after picking up this beautiful playmat. So getting into the actual combo, as I said, 4 damage necessary, quite an extensive drop zone, but usually that's the case already. You also need this Nitros in hand, and then quite the specific drop zone setup. Now, assuming you ultimate stride, you had to have your extra Nitros, so that one goes into drop zone. You need your 2 King Serpents, your Nightstorm, your Negro Lazy, your Negro Bone, Rook, and a Grenache. So we do our ultimate stride cost, of course, goes into drop zone. I'll just put it here so you can actually see everything. We go into that beautiful ZR Megiddo. So that's the setup we have right now. So as you know, your Megiddo skill costs you 2 counterblast, but then with your King Serpents you will automatically countercharge. That's basically the whole point of King Serpent in all of these combos. They will always just get you those calls and then get your resources back. Also, of course, giving you your soul charges as always. Now, next up, as I said, you have this in your hand. You simply call it over. You could literally have any card here. It doesn't really matter. It's just there to die. I happen to use Grenache because that's how Jamie does it, basically. The reason you call her from hand is because otherwise you will miss her timing. So everything will come, she will be there, and then her once per turn will trigger even though you don't use it. It's kind of like the Magnum Assault issue, you know. So you go 11, then you go 13, you swap, you attack, swap again, 13. Do keep in mind, and you can probably tell already, you want to be doing this when your opponent's at 5 damage, because you will be poking for very small numbers at the start, and so if they can take a damage trigger, that's basically GG on your first attacks already. So at this point, after that attack, you swap. So what you then do is you attack with 11, and this is a pretty fun thing I actually learned from Jamie as well. Megiddo's, you know, the swap skill he gave him and his own original skill will trigger at the same time. So what you then want to be doing is you first want to trigger the Megiddo skill and afterwards his. So then with Storm, you of course pay your counterblast, you call your Lazy, and then because you called something back, your Nitros will activate and you will get your Negerbone behind Starlight. Now, of course, this King Serpent basically died, so then, because you had this timing right here, you go into your Negro Lazy, you pay the cost, and then you get the King Serpent right back. So then that skill will go off. You then go your 11, because you know it got a boost right there, and then you go for this smaller number right here. Negerbone skill will go off. So with Negerbone, you kill this one, and then you call a Nightstorm right here. So then you attack with Nightstorm, using a skill at the end of the battle yet again. With that skill, you of course call your Negro Lazy skill, and you get your Negro Rook or your Whale. You could even take your Whale, as long as you have some kind of beat stick, you know. You don't really have counterblast to do anything else. So then you can attack your 11, then you can, well, depending on what triggers are still in your deck, you can either go 1, 2, 3, or if you know all crits are done, you can go 1, 2, 3. So for sake of the argument, we go right here, we check our trigger checks, nothing, nothing, and nothing. Wow, beautiful. And then finally you can just do your 16k whatever the hell. So that is basically an 11 attack combo with Megiddo. Now, of course, if you get stance, it goes up. Maybe if you have some more ideal situations, maybe some more counterblast or some other ideal drop zone setup, you can always go even further. Like I said, the archetype of this combo is literally the same all the time. Like even back when we had our double of display, the whole point of the game will always be your bones with your serpents, with this, getting your little train rolling, let's say, where you get all your stuff for free, and then doing a lot of tiny pokes. On Reddit, I've read various different versions of this combo. This one I specifically learned for Commander Jamie, so as I said, if you like Grand Blue content, you definitely want to be checking him out. I already told you, he's probably the best Grand Blue player I've ever seen. And as I said, if you want a beautiful Nightrose playmat, you can always get that at zerodamagegaming.com. Use the code LAUNCH to get 10% off. I'll put a link in the description. Subscribe to the Solemn Vanguard channel for more and click the bell button to stay up to date. I will see you soon. Ciao.